Hello everybody and welcome back to Bikes Online. Today we're going to be doing the third installment of the Superior XP Hardtail series. We'll be looking at both the XP929 and the XP969. Now both of these are carbon variants with different component spec, unlike the XP919 and the 939 that were alloy versions. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, dropping in. So just to give everyone some context, I am aboard the XP969, which is the higher spec of the two. However, we'll be talking about both models, and it is important to note that they share the exact same frame and geo, so those things roll over quite nicely. We'll be focusing mostly on cross-country type tails today, since that's exactly what this bike is meant to do. And yeah, I think that's all the context I need to give, so let's get started. This bike in particular, the XP969, features a RockShox SID Select fork, which is a mid-tier offering by RockShox. Now, the XP929 has the same fork as the XP939, which is the Recon. Still a quality air chamber fork, not quite as sophisticated in terms of damping and air spring. But I can tell you, coming from the alloy XP919 already, is that the carbon feels a bit more muted over chatter, but I think it's more stiff, to be honest with you. Woo. Yeah, the bike feels super sprightly and agile. The geometry is definitely tuned more for cross country, since that's what the bike is for. Steeper head tube angle, shorter reach, slightly narrower bars. Around these berms, steering inputs feel real snappy and quick. Coming into a little downhill section here. Let's see how it does. Oh, hello, tree down. Let's see how this bike feels. Feels good. Oh yeah, nice and agile, super zippy, exactly what I'd expect from a cross-country hardtail like this. The geometry kind of puts you over the bars some more, something to be aware of, and that is for the sake of efficiency and speed. As we're coming into this climb here, we'll talk about the drivetrain. Now this 969 model features a Shimano SLX 12-speed, which is great. Nice, smooth shifting with wide range. And its counterpart, the XP929, has Dior. Same shifting quality, just a few grams heavier. So either way, you get a good drivetrain on either model. The brakes equipped on these models are also extremely comparable. XP929 gets the MT400 series, which has the 2-finger lever, and 69 gets the 500 series, which gets you the 1-finger lever. However, I believe the calipers are the same. So the performance is extremely similar, with slightly different ergonomics from model to model. Really and truthfully, the XP929 has a very similar spec to the XP919 that I reviewed last time. The biggest difference is the fork. 919 has the Judy, where the 929 has the Recon. And of course the frames are different. 919 is alloy, 929 is carbon. So that's important to remember as well. Woo! Yeah, that's fun. Oh yeah. It's a good trail on a good bike. This is honestly an awesome bike for that type of single track stuff. And now that goes for all of the models in the range. As we head back up, I'd like to talk about a few more differences between the 929 and the 969. When it comes to seat posts, the 929 has the same alloy seat posts featured on the XP919, but the 969 gets a carbon seat post, which is a nice upgrade. Neither of these posts are dropper posts. However, On the carbon models, you do get internal routing for the addition of a dropper post. So keep that in mind. The same bar stem combo is featured across the range. You get a longer reach stem with some relatively flat bars that I believe are probably 760 wide. They're not your super wide trail bars, but that all plays a big part in the super snappy steering response that you'll feel on any of these models. Speaking of parts that are featured on all models, this bike, as well as the 929, features the Schwalbe Racing Ralph 29 by 2.25. Really good, really fast cross-country tire. I find that these tires provide adequate grip. I wouldn't want to push them on an enduro line, but they seem to balance grip and efficiency quite well. Another big differentiator between the 929 and the 969 is the wheel set. The 929 gets Shimano branded hubs with alloy hoops, whereas the 969 that I'm aboard gets a full DT Swiss wheel set, which is super nice. I love DT Swiss wheels. And I would say that and the SID fork are the biggest differentiators between the 929 and the 969. Although the Recon and SID are both air spring forks, they do not behave the same. The higher end forks by RockShox will give you more support in the mid-stroke, as well as be a little bit more resistant to full-blown bottom out, since the air spring and damper technology is more sophisticated. But if you're on your first bike and it comes with a Recon or a Judy, there's nothing wrong with that. You'll still be quite pleased. Those are fantastic entry point forks. This is such an efficient bike. Feels awesome. We're climbing back up now. Let's go ahead and try our remote lockout for the front fork for max efficiency. This is a cool feature if you plan on riding any concrete, any flats, or even smooth climbing like this, because you will get 100% efficiency having zero suspension. But you wouldn't want to leave this engaged going downhill. Done that before. Not fun. One caveat I'd like to mention about the drivetrains I forgot to mention. Both models, the XP929 and 969, have the Dior level cassette. So even though 969 has SLX derailleur, shifter, and crankset, it has the same cassette as the XP929. And I think that's often spec'd that way for durability. We see a lot of that with Polygon as well. The Dior cassette is all steel, which is great. So who is this bike for? Either the 929 or the 969. I would say that this bike would be good if you plan to compete in cross country and want to build a really nice cross country carbon hardtail. This one definitely has the potential. The frame set is super responsive and snappy. But really, any of the models in the range have a pretty fantastic value proposition, and you can't go wrong with either one. But I gotta say, I'm very fond of this 969. If I was gonna get a cross-country hardtail and didn't really wanna have to modify it or tweak it, I think this bike kind of checks all the boxes for me. It's really impressive what they're able to do with these 100mm travel forks now. I thought for sure at least once I'd feel it bottom out. I have yet to feel it bottom out. It may have, it may not. I don't know. But it feels so good. It definitely punches above its weight. You could tell me that this was a 120 or 130 mil fork in a blind test and I would probably believe you. It feels awesome. Shimano shifting is always buttery smooth. I'm a huge fan, as well as the brakes. Just reliable and consistent. I never have qualms with Shimano products, to be honest with you. I mean, these are just really good bikes. Really good cross-country hardtails. Actually, there's one more thing I'd like to mention because I still feel like not everyone is familiarized with the brand Superior. They are a cycling company out of the Czech Republic with an insane racing heritage. Their biggest focus, I would say, would be, in the cross-country, gravel, or even road sector. Their focus is winning races. And when you're on these bikes, you can tell. Let's be honest, I'm never a fast boy, but I'm a faster boy aboard this Superior. Let's see if we can go find some more fun, flowy stuff to test this bike out on. All right, this one's called Leopard's Loop, which plays quite nicely with these efficient hardtails. Assuming I can ride as good as I need to, this should be quite fun. Oh yeah. That's sick. I'm not having to give this bike any energy. I'm just kind of pumping through these features and it's just rolling, dude. No drag whatsoever. Let's hit this double. You. Oh yeah, man. This is sick. You. Oh yeah, dude, that was cool. Super fun. And there you have it, folks. 2 more hardtails by Superior Bikes, both the XP929 and the XP969. If you believe that either of these 2 bikes are right for you, head on over to BikesOnline.com where you can secure yours today. If you have any questions about the bikes, put those in the comments below, as well as any recommendations that you may have for videos that we need to do next. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to show some support. And as always, I am your host, Jared with Bikes Online. I'll see you around.